afternoon and welcome to the University of Pikeville Bowling Special. We're going to celebrate one of the most successful programs in the University of Pikeville, or in Eastern Kentucky for that matter, on any level, the University of Pikeville men's and women's bowling program. I'm joined to start with today with Coach Ron Dameron. And Ron, you were the founder of this program for the men and the women's side, and I don't think even you and I had any idea of the success that this program would have.
Well, it's been really good. It's worked well, and it's done what it's needed to do for the university and for our students, most of all. And it was just something that we felt that our students were looking for. And in working in admissions a little bit and going out and talking to the students, they were looking for things to do in college. And bowling just kept coming up because there were a lot of youth leagues. And so we were able to kind of get that going and brought some people in, and it's just taken off, and it's been good from day one, Rick.
The original team had a lot of Kentucky talent on it, and I think that helped drive the program as well.
Well, I do too. I think it's always good to try to work with your local people, and actually at that time Pikeville had a pretty nice youth league, and we were able to get 3 or 4 people out of that youth league. And throughout the state, as you travel around and you see other youth leagues and they play together, we just got to know a lot of people, know a lot of the parents, and it was just fun getting to do this. And I had a lot of parents say, you know, if University of Pikeville, at that time Pikeville College, would start a bowling program, then we would want our kids to come down that way. So I said, okay, and then next thing I know, we start one, I call them back, and they said, well, if you coach it, we'll send our kids. I said, well, you send your kids and we'll get started, and it just kind of worked out. 15
years, and every year you've been to the national tournament.
Well, actually, that's what the girls program, that is correct. The first year we only had a men's program, and I coached it that year. We did not make it. We were close to making it to the national tournament. We didn't make it. And then once the girls program started, I coached both of them for another couple of years, and then we had to, where the program grew, we had to bring in Coach Wilson for the men, but with the women's program, we have made the national tournament every year, and we're hoping this is number 16. So.
Now, how bowling works is that they go to the sectional tournament. There will be somewhere between 9 and 16 or 17 teams at those tournaments. The top 4 from each sectional will qualify to go to the national tournament in April. And Ron, your team this year will go west to Vegas, and that's the first time that we've ever been to the Vegas sectional.
Well, it is, and it's kind of a surprise to me that we had to do that, but that happens, and I guess we're kind of thankful that we've not had to do it before, you know, with that. But we are in a sectional that's pretty strong, and it's got 4 of the top 16 USBC teams in it, with us, Newman University, Midland University, and Lindenwood University out of St. Louis area. And then we have 2 NCAA programs, the 5th ranked team in the country in NCAA, Stephen F. Austin, and top 15 team, University of Maryland Eastern Shores in it, and also a really strong NAIA school out of Iowa, Hastings College, and they're very good. And so we have 7 really strong teams out there. There's 2 or 3 more teams out there that we haven't seen this year, so I really don't know much about those programs. So we're kind of looking forward to being into sectional, but we know we have to really prepare to make it happen.
The USBC likes to put 1 of the top 4 teams, 2 of the top 8, 3 of the top 12, 4 of the top 16 in each sectional, and they've done that with us there. But as you said, the rest of the field is pretty powerful in our sectional.
Well, it is, but you know, in order to make it to the national tournament, you have to be really pretty good, and you know, this just reinforces the idea that if we make it out of that, that's good, and if we don't make it, we'll go give it a great effort and see what happens with that.
Now, you mentioned Maryland Eastern Shore going out to West as well, and they're coached by Caleb Andy, who was a 2-time National Bowler of the Year for Pikeville College and the University of Pikeville. She's one of a handful of people who bowled for you here who are now coaching on the national level.
Right. And it'll be fun to see her again. I just kind of wish it wasn't in a sectional tournament where we have to go head to head, but that's one of the things. But we've been really fortunate. We've had great young people in our program, and and they have really been student athletes, Rick. We have had such great students, and we've had the good fortune of when kids commit to us, they normally graduate, and it's been perfect with that. And you know, as you coach, you want to teach them not only the things on how to succeed and how to win, but how to win at life. And that's one of the things that we really strive to do, is to make every one of these kids, as they come out of here, to going through the programs at our university and getting their majors, being good students, being the top students in their class. I mean, we strive for that, we push for that, and we want that to happen. And then, you know, to learn about just what it takes to be to make going through life successful. And we've had some really good young ladies in our program, and men for that matter, that are coaching at the college level now. And I think we just counted, we have 7 people that have been through our program that are now coaching at the college level. And I just really see that number increasing over the next few years.
And Ron, we talked about the academic side of things and how important that is for us. You told me earlier that when we got back from the Mid-South tournament that we had more than twice as many all-conference academic bowlers than any other school in the league. And of these 8 girls that you will take to the sectional tournament, 5 of them are going to be academic All-American.
That is true, and I'm really proud of those kids. I'm really just proud of our all people in the conference that we have. We did have 10 or 12 academic all-conference people, and but the academic All-Americans, out of the 8 that will take the sectionals, 5 of them will be academic All-Americans. And just this little sidelight, Rick, the other 3 that's on our 8, they all have over a 3.0. They just didn't reach the 3.5. So, but that's we'll put that up against any team also.
When you start talking about your talent this year, Ron, it starts with KT Simpson.
It does. I'll tell you, we have been blessed to have three seniors that are leading the program this year, and Rick, they were all Americans last year. And I don't know if most people know that or not, but you know, you have 3 All-Americans returning, you should be pretty good. You know. And we lost 1 All-American, and our kids have stepped up, and we have 1 freshman and 3 sophomores and 1 junior, along with the 3 freshmen. But KT has been, she will be an All-American again this year, and we may end up having a couple more All-Americans again this year with Fallon and Shelby, our seniors. They have been our leaders, and they have all played well. And in any particular tournament, one can be better than the other one, or throw better. But they have been really good leaders, and the chemistry on this team is just amazing. It is so good, and it's a group that I've really enjoyed working with.
You have successful bowlers on the lanes, they're successful in the classroom, and as you say, that will lead them to being successful people in life.
Well, we hope that's the equation to get them there with that. But you know, you keep pushing, you keep trying, and I have a thing. I kind of let our students know that, you know, bowling has got to be the fun part of their college career. That's the fun part. And I'm never going to get mad at them about bowling. We may get upset with them over classroom attendance or grades or not being the person they need to be. But if they keep missing pins, we just work harder. You know, it's just something that you can't. You know, it's got to be fun part. So you work with them to where they're able to do everything they need to do. And we want them to be good citizens. We want them to be involved in everything on campus, and it's just great to see that.
Now, you went to the Mid-South Conference tournament. Things went really well there, won the championship this year, and then came home and you had another regular season tournament after that. One of the largest fields that we will compete in, and had a lot of success there as well.
Well, we were really fortunate. I was wondering how we would do in the tournament once we finished the Mid-South Conference. I didn't really want going back to another regular season tournament, but it was a Hoosier Classic in Indianapolis. This was its 47th year, maybe the 48th year of it, and there were 66 women's schools at the tournament. The top 66 schools in the country were there. And during the qualifying rounds, we finished second to Wichita State. Wichita State was ranked 1. The rankings just came out last week. They were the number 1 team in the country, followed by Weber International. Wright State University was 3rd, and we were 4th in the polls. You know, that's pretty close to being accurate, you know. But in the qualifying rounds, we finished second to Wichita State. They beat us about 150, 160 pins, and then Wright State, the 3rd ranked team, was 4th or 5th in the tournament, and Weber International didn't make the top 8. I think they were 9th, but we were good. Then we went to the qualifying round, the best 2 out of 3, and we played. I can't even remember who we played, but we lost in the first round of qualifying, the best 2 out of 3. So
You said even in them we bowled very, very well.
we did. We bowled really good. We threw some great shots. We just didn't get the pin carry, and they threw good shots, and they did. And so at that time they were better than us.
Now, you told me something interesting that you're going to do this week, and I don't know how much you'll want to talk about that, but you're going to get together with the Morehead State program to bowl against them in preparation for the sectionals, but you're not bowling against their women, it's their men.
Well, we have, Coach Brown and I had talked a little earlier in the year, and we've been wanting to do this a couple of years, and it'd been a while since we had made this happen, and so we just kind of talked, and next week we're going to get together. We're going to meet in Prestonsburg, and we're going to have a couple hours practice sessions with them, and set it up like the sectional tournament and then the national tournament, and just kind of bowl and see how it comes out. But it'll cause us to focus. It'll cause them to focus. I think it'll be a win-win for both teams.
And when we first started our bowling program, the people at Morehead State were so helpful. I mean, they really helped us as much as anybody.
Well, I leaned on Morehead's coaches a lot, Coach Wilson and Coach Brown a lot, and Coach Wilson really gave me all the guidelines I needed to get the program started. And the USBC, the people I work with there, and even now, they're really good. And the bowling world is maybe a little different. There's a lot of people there like to help one another, and they'll do anything for your kids, and the sportsmanship is great, and it's just good to be associated with that.
Uno Bowling Tournament is different from any other sport that I go to because you see what Ron's talking about firsthand. When a bowler bowls picks up a really difficult split for the spare, you'll see the other bowlers not get upset about it. They'll be coming from 2 or 3 or 4 lanes away to congratulate that person. You don't see that really in a lot of other sports, Ron. It really is different.
Well, it is, and it is pretty good. But as you bowl all during the year in the regular season tournaments, I mean, you pick up teams that you really have rivalries with, and man, when you're on the lanes with them, you just want to kill them, But when you walk off, you shake hands, you get there, and then you go out and eat with them. I mean, it's kind of amazing that they can do that.
Another thing that happens at the National Bowling Tournament, when you get to the championship game, the championship round, every T-shirt that you took with you for your school, you take it out to the lanes with you, and the players from the other teams who didn't make it to the national championship that year, they put those shirts on and wear them in support of you. We've had that opportunity several times, Ron, that we've had a lot of people wearing Pikeville College and University of Pikeville stuff.
Well, it's been a good run, and we just hope, Rick, that we can keep it up for another few years and kind of make it happen. But it is. There's a lot of camaraderie out there, and we stress sportsmanship with our players and respect for other teams, and and we give that, and we definitely get it back from the other teams.
Ron, you talked about all the people who have bowled here, who are head coaches. Your 2 assistant coaches, Jesse Hawkins bowled on our men's program, and Christina Halen on our women's team.
Well, they have been a big help. Jesse works for our university, and he actually volunteers to help us out of here with our teams. I have a lot of confidence in him. I let him coach the varsity team some of the times that we go places. And one of these days he's going to be a great head coach somewhere. And we were fortunate enough to be able to get a grad assistant with our program. And you get someone that you've worked with for 4 years who wants to stay around and learn some of the tricks with the bowling, but also to get their master's degree and just learn more about life in order to prepare for what they want to do. It's really good, and those 2 people have been a great help to me this year in more ways than one. I listen to them a lot, Well,
we'll hear from those 2 and every member of the team who Ron is taking to the sectional tournament here in just a few moments as you watch the University of Pikeville Bowling Special. Welcome back to the University of Pikeville Bowling Special. I'm Rick Bentley, your host. Jesse Hawkins is joining me now. Jesse, you bowled at Pikeville. You're an assistant coach here. Tell me this to start with. When you were deciding on where you were going to go to school, why Pikeville?
For the most part, I really just enjoyed the small town atmosphere. I had a really great conversation with Ron whenever I met him originally, and didn't realize he was only the women's coach at the time. But we exchanged emails when I was at this tournament, and 2006, and he told me, I need to take a visit. He said, I need to come up. So I talked to him, decided to come up for a visit, but then he told me that Kyle Wilson was actually the men's coach. I actually had a couple phone conversations with Kyle. Came up, just really enjoyed it. They treated me really nice while I was here. They showed me like the whole town of Pikeville. But I really enjoy the small town atmosphere, the small town classroom sizes where teachers know you one-on-one, and it's just I really think it's a really friendly area in general. So
now you bowled in the sectionals, you've bowled in the national tournament. You have all that experience. How does that help you when you're talking to the girls and trying to explain to, especially the freshmen, the ones who haven't been there, what they're getting ready to get into?
Don't put too much pressure on it and just let the season happen. Bowl your game. Don't let anything else bother you, because if you start putting pressure on yourself, you're not going to do what you expect to do. Just let it happen. Let the coaches help you. I mean that's why we're here. We're here to help, and we'll do anything that it takes to get them there. So
Ron's a different character, isn't he? I tell people all the time, going to a bowling tournament with Ron Dameron is like walking in the Grammys with Mick Jagger. He's the biggest star there, and he really is. Very quiet, very humble, very unassuming. But when you go to a bowling tournament with Ron, he's the man.
Like, we go into the bowling center, and the coaches and the players they actually go to him and say, "Hi, Ron, how are you?" He doesn't usually have to make the first motion to say hi, when he would really make the first moment to do it. They always beat him to it, really. So,
you like this team?
Oh, I really like this team, Rick.
What do you think? What do you think we need in the sectionals to qualify to go to the nationals? And then what has to happen for us when we get there?
We're just trying to fill frames. Just like what we've done all year, and just keep working at that. We'll have no problem getting out of section, I don't think. This is a really good team. There's a lot of talent, and there's a lot of girls that have stepped up from last year to this year. That it's been huge for us, really.
Well, Ron Dameron said Jesse Hawkins was going to be himself a college head coach soon. And I can tell you from experience of watching him, being on the lanes with Jesse, he's a quality bowler in his own right. Jesse, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Rick.
We'll be back with more after this, the University of Pikeville Bowling Special. Welcome back to the University of Pikeville Bowling Special. I'm Rick Bentley, your host, and joined now by Christina Halen. Christina from Georgia,
yes,
came to Pikeville to be a part of this bowling program. And when you're come to a program as successful as this one is, you don't want to be the one who lets it down. And you certainly didn't do that, because you've got a national championship ring on your finger, as well as every other bowler who's been through here.
I do. This was my first one that we got.
And national championships are something that I think a lot of people kind of expect from us, but it's something that shouldn't be taken for granted. It should be celebrated when it happens.
I agree.
Now, you've been here for some time now, as we said, as a bowler, and wanted to hang around and get your master's degree when we started the MBA program at the University of Pikeville, and I know you've been very successful in that as well.
Yes. I'll graduate in May with it. Graduating
in May with an MBA, and I would think that when you first came to Pikeville, that wasn't something that was really on your radar.
No, not at all, actually. I didn't even think I was going to go to grad school.
But it's worked out well for you, hasn't it?
Yes.
Coming to Pikeville has not only given you a national championship, it's helped you to extend your career and get into the coaching profession. Is that something you want to do as a profession?
Actually, yes. I'm being currently pursued by 4 different colleges to come and coach after graduation, and we'll just see how it goes.
It's always nice to have Ron Dameron's name on your resume, isn't it?
It is. He always will give me references if I need them, and will tell me if I'm looking for words of encouragement or a reference letter or updates on my resume.
What's been the biggest difference for you being a coach as opposed to when you were a bowler?
The transition from player to coach was extremely hard, because you can't do all the things that you want to do. Hanging out with the girls, you gotta take a step back. You can't get too close to them. Get close in a way, but not do all the things that I would as a player. But another thing was just when they're at tournaments, it's very hard to just sit there, because there's a lot of times where I want to go in and I can't.
You can't pick up that spare for them now.
Exactly.
It's all about teaching them how to do that.
Exactly right.
You came here and you were an All-American bowler for us.
I was.
And what do you think was the biggest key to your success as a bowler?
I came here and I wanted to bowl all the time, and I knew I was gonna through Ron's help, I would get a national championship. I'd never imagined getting All-American, ever. But he would come work out with me one-on-one on the lanes, even before practice or after practice, we would say, and it was just a lot of hard work.
Now, another thing that Ron does with the bowling program here is he brings in help, not only with him and his staff, but he brings in Coach Edwards from Ohio, and she is phenomenal, is she not?
She is absolutely wonderful. She's probably one of my favorite people.
Tell me what she brings to the program when she comes in.
When she comes in, she works with us one-on-one. She'll come in for 2 hours, and we'll be in a group, and she'll get work with each person individually and say, this is what you need to work on if you want to progress, and this is what you need to do to get better. And she'll give mental tips, she'll give physical game tips, if you want health and nutrition and fitness tips, she'll put you in that category as well.
Now, you've been to several sectional tournaments here with Ron, and then advancing to the national tournament every time. What kind of conversations have you been having with the girls, particularly the ones who have never been to a sectional tournament?
I keep telling them just to play their game, stay in Pikeville's game, and we'll go far. Don't worry about other teams.
We do things a little differently than everybody else, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
We go in expecting to win.
Yeah, we do. Well, the girls have been very successful with it, so they know that the target's on their back.
How much does it help having an All-American like KT Simpson coming back for her senior year?
A lot. And Katie will take over my position next year, so Ron will have another All-American help too.
Ron Dameron does things right here in this women's bowling program, does he not?
He does.
It's amazing how successful this program has been.
Yes, he knows how to bring them in, definitely.
And went to Georgia and found you.
The first time I met Ron Dameron was in Buffalo, New York at the Junior Gold Championship.
That's twice we've heard the Junior Golds mentioned. Tell me about that program.
Junior Gold is a tournament held every July. This past year they had over 3,500 kids come out and compete in it, ranges from 8 years old to up until 19 or 20. And they go and compete for a chance to bowl on Team USA.
Now, did you know Ron Dameron when you went to Junior Gold?
I did not. Ron approached me. I had not even heard of Pikeville before this tournament.
It's something I hear from a lot of our student athletes. They've never heard of Pikeville, and they come here and they're not real sure about what they're getting themselves into, and then it kind of gets in their blood and gets in their system.
Yes.
And you never want to leave.
That's very true. I don't want to leave.
Christina, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Rick.
That's all with our coaches now. We're going to talk to our players after this. You're watching the University of Pikeville Bowling Special. What will you tell people about Ron Dameron and your time as University of Pikeville bowler?
Ron has been amazing. He's like a second father to us all. I mean, he would do absolutely anything for any one of us if we needed it. He's just been amazing, and I'm so happy that I chose to come here.
It's just come down to a lot of hard work and being with the girls, and Ron has helped a lot to get me this far.
I first met Ron when I actually bowled for Victory University. I bowled for Victory University for 2 years before I came to Pikeville. And he actually congratulated me at one of the tournaments that we bowled against Pikeville because I had won individuals at that tournament. I came in first, and he came over and congratulated me for winning. And that was when I had first met Ron.
Ron has definitely hit hard this year, actually just every year. Nothing is ever really given to you. It's actually, you have to earn it.
I think I've had a ton of improvement, and it just drove me to work harder each year. So I'm really glad that I'm here where I am now.
A lot of pressure, a lot of competition, good competition. I've really just tried to focus on, keeping calm and staying focused as the game goes on. We've had a great group of girls all 4 years that I've been here, so being able to be on the postseason roster is a good.
There's definitely some good competition at our conference tournaments, and it'll help us prepare for sectionals and get our intensity up a lot.
We try to implement what we want to continue, which is not only winning, but being a good character and doing things like that.
I just want to go out there and do my best, support my teammates. Even if I'm not playing my best, I want to make sure that I can motivate them, do whatever I can to have the best outcome for the team so we can take them a win.
Tell me what you hope to gain personally out of the trip to the national tournament.
Well, a national title for sure. But other than that, personally, I'd really just like the experience of being there. I've had a successful career here, and I want to end it with a national championship.
I think the key to success for this team is definitely working together well as a team and having good team chemistry, and all of us just really coming together and being able to work together properly and as a family. It's very, very important for us to be successful.
Definitely tons of communication. Make sure we are a family, make sure we get along with everybody, and make sure we're on the same page with the tournaments and the lane conditions and everything like that.
We are a family. I mean, the majority of us live in the same suite, so we spend all of our time together, we love each other, and it really shows whenever we bowl.
One thing about the University of Pikeville is that it's all about being a family, and the same aspect is on the bowling team. These girls are my sisters. We work hand in hand together to make sure that we can accomplish these goals, and we support each other through everything. So that's the big thing this year, is making sure that we stay as a family and we're supportive of one another.
Once again, the family dynamic of the University of Pikeville bowling program. We'll be back with more after this. You're watching the University of Pikeville Bowling Special. Welcome back to the University of Pikeville Bowling Special. I'm Rick Bentley. We've talked to Coach Ron Dameron and the women of the University of Pikeville program, and now we're going to be joined by Coach Kyle Wilson of the men's program. And Kyle, one of the things I tell people all the time is that in a lot of ways, the worst thing you have going for you is Ron and his program, because they're the only program on campus more successful than your program, and a lot of times you guys get lost in the limelight. But 6 trips to the national tournament since you joined the program, that's pretty substantial.
Well, thanks for being here and everything. I will tell you this, Ron gives me something to shoot for, gives our program something to shoot for. What he's done is nothing short of amazing. He's never missed sectionals, always made it to nationals, and how many years? 12 years maybe. What he has done is amazing. We have to work real hard on our side. We're ready for the challenge this year. We're going to Las Vegas. And that was a shock on Wednesday to find out we were going to Las Vegas.
It really was, Kyle, because in all the years we've had bowling here, we've been to the other sectionals. We've been up in the north and we've been south, and we've gone into the central part, but we've never gone that far.
Now, we've been in east of the Mississippi, and there's only one place you can go if you're west, and that's Las Vegas. So, we're going to go out there. We had 2 good tournaments out there in December over Christmas break, and had a great time out there. And Vegas is we've done well out there. So we're used to being out there. It's not going to be unfamiliar territory for us.
It really is. It's something that we do every year with the bowling program, is take them to Vegas during the Christmas break. They bowl in a couple of tournaments out there. They actually start one that ends in one morning, and they start another tournament that very same afternoon. But Kyle, I understand that we're about 12 miles from where we normally bowl. This is not a house that we've bowled in the past.
It's one of the coast centers out there. I believe it's Sun Coast. We won the Las Vegas Invite at Sunset Station a few years back. We bowled at the Orleans, and we bowled at the new arena they have at the South Point over the Christmas break. Beautiful facility. Way bowling should be viewed in an arena. So this will be a new venue for us, but if it's similar to the Orleans, because the same company owns that, we should fit right in out there, I'm thinking.
Now, we talked about the success the women's program has had, but something that they can't even say, Kyle, in the last 4 years of Mid-South Conference bowling, your program is on 113 wins and 5 losses.
Yes, 4 of those came this year. Our conference has been strengthened this year with the addition of Lindenwood Belleville and Martin Methodist. And we had some really good competition this year, and we ended up tying for the regular season standings for the regular season, but we won the 1 seed in the tournament by our tiebreaker. We tied Martin Methodist in the regular season, and then we finished second to them. They're a good team, and we threw the ball well at the conference tournament.
You've got a lot of experience going to sectional tournaments. How have you prepared your team coming in for this week?
We practice 3 days a week. We've added some extra practice times on the weekends. We're gonna get some more practice time in before we leave for Vegas next Tuesday night, and we've just been working really hard. 2-3 hour practice sessions on challenging sport conditions.
Now tell me about the NAIA Coaches Association you're a big part of.
Well, they created an office for me. Basically, I'm a trustee, and what I do is just kind of give them advice, because I have a lot of experience running bowling tournaments. I've had a lot of input on how the national NAIA tournament is run. I'm on the committee, which is going to eventually make the NAIA a championship sport, or the bowling a championship sport. Right now it's an emerging sport, and hopefully within the next year it should happen. I think we're going to see things move pretty fast. I think the ADs and the presidents vote in April. I think they vote on it, and if it passes, then it possibly would start next year then.
Now, you're ranked 5th in the country in NAIA bowling right now, and you're ranked 19th in the country nationally with all schools represented. And that's the thing I think a lot of people maybe don't understand, and something we haven't really talked about with anybody else, Kyle, is when it comes to bowling, we don't just compete against the small schools like we do in our other sports here. We compete against the big boys. The ones that they're used to watching in the NCAA basketball tournament, those are the teams that we'll face when we get to the bowling tournament.
Well, the college bowling rankings are kind of done a little different way, and because we're bowling conference tournaments, we're not getting as many power points as we would if we bowled the tournaments with the larger amount of teams in it. So that's kind of we're kind of 19th, but I know in my heart we're easily top 10, top 8 in the country. I know that if our guys show up and bowl their game, that we can be there.
What kind of talent, and more particularly, what kind of postseason experience do you have going with you this year?
We have 2 seniors, Derek Perkins, he redshirted last year, but he's been to sectionals. Well, this will be his 4th time going to sectionals. We have Zach Filing from Bay City, Michigan. Those 2 just bring a lot of experience. I've got Michael Fonseca and Josh Encarnacion, both on the Puerto Rican national team, coached by Jerry Edwards. They're two players. I've got 2 sophomores, Matt Diamond and Matt Cleary, and Brandon Dubuck, actually 3 sophomores, and Jacob Perrell from Lexington, who was the Mid-South Conference Freshman of the Year this year. That's our sectional team this year.
So you have 1 freshman on your postseason team who happened to be the Freshman of the Year. That's a pretty good team.
Yeah. He's done a great job for us. We kind of got his feet wet at the varsity level the 2nd semester here at the conference tournaments, and he stepped up. And so we're taking him with us. It's going to be a good experience for him, good learning experience. And if we need to use him, we will use him because he can play.
Zach Filing, the Mid-South Conference Bowler of the Year.
2-time, I believe, Player of the Year. He has had a great season this year. The conference conditions this year were pretty tough. 2 of the 4 tournaments were very tough, and it kept his average down a little bit, but he's averaging over 204, 205 nationally. He's got a lot of talent, could very easily make a 1st, 2nd, 3rd team All-American.
That's something that you've had a lot of in the history of our program. We've had Bowlers of the Year, we've had Freshman Bowlers of the Year, and we've had a lot of All-Americans on this roster.
Yes, we had Ronnie Sparks, Rookie of the Year a few years back. Of course, Cash Schaub, the best 2-handed lefty I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I still keep in touch with some of those guys, and we're going to be ready to go. We've got experience, and I'm confident that we're going to go out there and have a good showing.
Now, Kyle, we're filming this here at Classic Lanes in Pikeville. Made a lot of improvements to this bowling center, and you've kind of played a role in that as well.
Well, I'm no longer dorm director, so I moved my office up here. I used to have my office on campus, so now I'd like to just tell what the owners of the bowling center here at Classic Lanes, Joe Justice and then Greg and Tina Clevenger, what they've done for us. They have given us a wonderful space to put a locker room, which you've done some interviews in there, and you'll see on this telecast. And we've also got a pro shop here, which I'm actually in the pro shop business, and I deal with all the bowlers, do all their work free gratis in there. So we deal with their league bowlers when we can. Having 40 or 50 bowlers in the bowling program, we don't have a lot of time to do that. But they've done a lot of things here at the bowling center for us. They work with us whenever we want to practice. They work us in, and I'm just grateful. I will say that as a recruiting tool, when I bring a recruit in here and they see this locker room and they see this pro shop, that is a great recruiting tool. And we even send guys to drilling school. We send 3 incoming sophomores to drilling school every year. So we're assured to have 7 or 8 people on campus at all times that can drill. But they've done a great thing for us here. They're going to make some improvements over the summer that I'm looking forward to. And you know, you have the Kegel Training Center in Florida. We're not there yet, but there's probably on my right hand I can count bowling facilities in the nation of colleges that have something like this. Most of them don't have that, so we're lucky to have it.
And the pro shop you have here, which is open to anybody, as you say, that money goes back into your program, correct?
Anything I do for the bowlers in our program is free gratis. However, I do have a retail license to sell to the general public.
Ron mentioned earlier to me, he said it this way, he said, they're great for us and we're great for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good partnership here. They've always just, done whatever we ask. I mean, there's times where they're busy, they have to work around their league schedules or their birthday parties, but they've never really ever said no to us, and they always get it done for us. And like I said, I'm just grateful that we have them and that they're able to continue to support us.
You mentioned earlier about being on the national committee, and one of the things you have expertise in is hosting bowling tournaments and running bowling tournaments yourself. You've just got back from Ohio where you helped run, on the postseason there, right?
Well, when I was 16 years old, I started an organization called the JTBA that many of our freshmen and sophomore bowlers bowl in. And I'm still running that today, 37 years later. In addition to that, I run some tournaments with the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Like you said, I just got back from the Division II boys and the girls. I talked to a couple guys up there that are looking at Pikeville. We have the Division I coming up this weekend, which is going to be a huge tournament. We pack about 800 fans in the stands at Wayne Webb's 300 Bowl in Columbus, Ohio. Beautiful venue to have a bowling tournament. They just had the Players Championships there that was on ESPN 2 weeks ago. And I get to work with my childhood idol, Wayne Webb, one of my idols in the PBA growing up. So, yeah, and then I run some other tournaments that I run with the Midwest traveling tour that they do up there. So I have a lot of avenues to recruit in that area.
It also helps us in not only recruiting on your team, but as you said, you talked to some women when you were up there as well.
Yeah, I did get some contacts for Ron, and I'm constantly recruiting for him. A lot of the girls that are here that I kind of helped him get.
You and Ron worked very well together.
Yeah, I met Ron. He was bringing, the first national championship team that they had, Ron was bringing his daughter up to the JTBAs in Ohio, and he got a lot of the girls on that 2004 team from the JTBA. And one day, one of my friends, Greg Coulis, said, hey, Ron Dameron wants to go out to dinner with you. I said, okay. So I went out to dinner, and I knew Ron. I spoke to him at the tournaments, but he goes, how would you like to come and coach college bowling? I'd done 2 years of high school up in Mount Vernon, my hometown in Ohio, and I said, sure. So we came down, and that was 12 years ago. The first year and a half I coached on the road, and now, he got me a position as dorm director for 10 years, and I've got a nice apartment in town now. I'm happy. I'm happy to be involved up here at the Bowling Center. We used to have the pro shop at the dorm. And it was not convenient because when you drill a ball, you have to drive up here and throw it. Now we drill a ball, we can walk 20 feet and throw the thing. So it's working good for us.
It's really, we talked to a lot of the women about the family atmosphere, but it's to say it just works hand in hand, the entire program. You guys really, really work well together. There's a lot of cooperation between the two programs.
Yes, Ron and I communicate. He tells me what shots to put out. My incoming group of freshmen this year was a real outgoing, fun bunch of guys to be around. Our program is really strong. I have 25 brothers. I have 25 sons, I feel like, every year, And, I cry when they leave. And, I really enjoy this. It's the best thing that's ever happened in my life to be involved with the University of Pikeville bowling program.
It's been great for you. It's been great for us, Kyle. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
That's Coach Kyle Wilson of our UPIKE men's program. And we're going to talk to those players after this. You're watching University of Pikeville Bowling Special. Welcome back to our University of Pikeville Bowling Special. I'm joined by Derek Perkins. Derek, you've had a lot of experience on this bowling team. You've been to sectionals several times. You've never been to nationals, and I know that's something that you want to accomplish.
It absolutely is. Every year it's everybody's dream to get there and make that stage. It's the ultimate achievement, and I would love to go this year and take our guys.
With some of the newer schools, they've been to nationals, they've competed at nationals, they're a little more experienced, the recruiting there is a little bit better, so it's definitely a lot tougher competition than what the previous years have been.
Great year for you already, the Mid-South Conference Freshman Bowler of the Year.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. I mean, something I did that I never thought I'd come out here and accomplish, and just been out here working hard every day, and I'm glad I finally got what I achieved.
We need to make sure we're a unit. We need to make sure that we are together and we're not just a group of guys out there bowling. We need to make sure that we are together and we are performing for one another, not just for ourselves.
Try to cheer everyone up, keep everyone lighthearted. If someone gets down, misses a pin or something like that, just say, hey, shake it off, you got this next time. It's a whole team effort, really. I mean, I do my part, I fill my frame, and everyone else does that on the team as well.
Early in the day, hope to string some strikes together, most importantly make your spares, and late in the day really comes down to spares and shooting those 180s, 190 games. That will move you up quite a few spots.
we got all this fresh talent coming in. We got to teach them the way and all that. It's been an interesting season for me.
We just need to concentrate more on us and not on the other teams. Just be as a group and participate together and make it work.
The conditions in college are so much more intense. When we come out, we're almost more prepared than the professionals.
We're definitely trying to make, not necessarily repeat the intensity of nationals, but we're trying to repeat the intensity that we have on ourselves. We're trying to be more dedicated and have harder work, more concentration during practices, execute not more shots, but better quality of shots.
It kind of gives me an opportunity and gives the guys an opportunity to kind of build upon what we did last year and kind of improve. It's just sort of something that I've always wanted to be a part of something greater. And with this opportunity to be on the postseason roster, it's kind of my opportunity to kind of be something greater.
We spent the last few minutes getting to know the University of Pikeville bowlers, their coaches, and you get to see how this program is as successful as it has been for the last 15 years here at the University of Pikeville. It's not going anywhere, folks. We've got a lot of talented people here that we're very proud of in the classroom and on the bowling lanes. We thank you for joining us today. I'm Rick Bentley. It's been a pleasure to host the University of Pikeville Bowling Special today.